Can you eat deli meat in pregnancy? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the All About Pregnancy and Birth podcast. If you're having a baby in the hospital, you are giving birth in a system that too often takes away power from women over what happens in their own bodies. I'm Dr. Nicole Calloway Rankins, a practicing board-certified OBGYN who's had the privilege of helping well over 1,000 babies into this world. I've been a doctor for over 20 years, and I'm here to help you take back your power, advocate for yourself, and have the beautiful pregnancy and birth that you deserve. This podcast is for educational purposes only, and it's not a substitute for medical advice. Check out the full disclaimer at drnicolerankins.com/disclaimer. Now let's get to it. Hello there. Welcome to this shorty episode of the podcast. Whether this is your first time listening or you have listened before, you know I'm so glad you're spending some time with me today. So in these shorty episodes, I like to share a little bite-sized nugget of information to help you about pregnancy and birth. And in this episode, we're going to talk about deli meat. Now, what is the issue? Why are we even talking about deli meat at all? Well, the problem with deli meat or lunch meat or however you call it, also some cheeses, is something called listeria. So what is listeria? Listeria is a bacteria. It's found in soil, it's found in water, it's found in some animals, including cattle and also poultry. And when eaten, listeria can cause a foodborne illness that is called listeriosis. And listeriosis is actually one of the most serious types of food poisoning. Now, listeriosis can cause anything from mild symptoms to flu-like symptoms like fevers, chills, kind of muscles aches, diarrhea, GI upset. It can also cause a stiff neck, a headache, confusion, or even loss of balance. Now, here's the thing about listeria that can be very tricky. The symptoms may not appear right away. The symptoms can appear as late as 2 months after you have eaten something that contains listeria. And then in pregnancy, many pregnant women actually don't have any symptoms of listeria. If they catch listeria during pregnancy, you may not have any symptoms at all. Now, here's the thing. Even if you don't feel sick, you can pass the infection on to your baby. And listeria in moms is really not that big of a deal. It doesn't cause a lot of problems for the mom, but for the baby, it can cause miscarriage, it can cause stillbirth, it can cause preterm labor. And babies that are born with listeriosis can have some really serious issues, some serious infections of the blood, serious infections of the brain. Listeriosis can actually cause lifelong health problems for a baby, including intellectual disability, paralysis, seizures, blindness, even problems with the brain, kidneys, or heart. It can actually even cause death in newborns. The other thing about pregnancy and listeria is that pregnant women are about 10 times more likely to get listeriosis than the general population. But it doesn't actually mean that it's common. In fact, it's quite uncommon, listeriosis in general. So although pregnant women are more likely to get it, in general, it's a rare condition. So according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that's the CDC, there are roughly about 1,600 or so cases of listeriosis in the United States each year. And about 1 in 7 of those, or about 200 cases a year, are in pregnant women. And that is out of nearly 4 million pregnancies a year. So it is actually quite rare. Knock on wood, I cannot recall ever having seen someone have listeria in pregnancy, but it is a possibility that it could happen. So what do you do to prevent it? And this is where we answer the question about deli meats. So to help prevent listeriosis, when you're pregnant, we recommend that you avoid eating the following foods. And I will say, I know that not everyone necessarily sticks to all of these, especially considering how rare it is. I gave you the numbers. I gave you the information. Our official recommendations are that you avoid these things, but I will acknowledge that I've seen some people eat these things from time to time and not necessarily have any issues. So you want to avoid unpasteurized milk and foods made with unpasteurized milk. And some foods that are made with unpasteurized milk, maybe like soft cheeses, like brie, camembert, Roquefort, queso blanco, queso fresco. Now, most cheeses will say on them if they're unpasteurized or pasteurized or made with unpasteurized or pasteurized milk. So just look on the label. It's not that common that things are made with unpasteurized milk, even those cheeses that I mentioned. So just check the label and see. And we recommend that you don't eat hot dogs or deli meats unless they are heated to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit or until steaming hot just before serving. So, sometimes people heat it in the microwave, or if you want to do like a hot patty melt kind of sandwich, then that is considered fine. You want to avoid refrigerated pate. You want to avoid refrigerated meat spreads. You also want to avoid refrigerated smoked seafood like smoked salmon, because that may have listeria. It could be contaminated with listeria. You also want to be sure that you don't eat raw fruits and vegetables that haven't been washed. And by washed, I mean just rinse with water, rub with your hands with water to just kind of clean off any bacteria that are on the outside. You also want to avoid any raw or undercooked seafood, eggs, meat, poultry while you're pregnant. You don't want to eat sushi that's made with raw fish. Cooked sushi is perfectly safe, and a lot, if not most, sushi in the United States has cooked seafood, so it is probably okay. So as long as the seafood is cooked in the sushi, then that is fine to eat. You do want to try and avoid store-made salads like chicken salad, tuna salad that you can buy in the deli. They may be contaminated with listeria. If you want to make those salads at home, perfectly fine. It's just more the store-made ones that may be contaminated. And you also don't want to eat raw or lightly cooked sprouts. And the reason for all of these things is that the only way to kill listeria is through cooking and through pasteurization. Pasteurization is just when something gets heated up just a little bit. It's not quite to boiling. It just gets heated up a little bit to kill the bacteria. So only cooking and pasteurization are the ways that can kill listeria. And again, I will acknowledge listeria is rare. So, make your own decision about whether you want to take the risk of eating some deli meat. But our official recommendations are you should heat it up before you do so. Okay, some other things you want to do, and these are things we should be doing in general, right? Obviously, wash your hands with soap and water before and after you do any food prep. You want to wash your cutting boards, your counters, utensils with hot soapy water after there's any contact with raw meat or poultry, seafood, any unwashed fruits and vegetables. In our house for cutting boards, we have separate cutting boards for meats, like a couple cutting boards that are just for meats, couple cutting boards that are just for vegetables. That way you don't have that cross-contamination. Also, of course, wash your knife in between. You don't want to chop some chicken or, dice some chicken and then turn around and dice your vegetables without cleaning the knife. So just remember those little things as well. Okay, so that's it for the episode. To answer the question, can you eat deli meat in pregnancy? Yes, you can. Again, the official recommendation is to heat it to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit or until it's steaming hot just before serving. All right, so there you have it. Please share this episode with a friend. Sharing is caring. It helps me to reach and serve more people, and it helps your friend too, so she can get all this great information that's in the podcast. Also, subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening to me right now. I would so appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, and come follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Dr. Nicole Rankins. You can get more great pregnancy and birth information there. Also, shoot me a DM if you have any ideas or things you want me to talk about on the podcast. My DMs are open. So that's it for this episode. Do come on back next week, and remember that you deserve a beautiful pregnancy and birth.
Location, the lab. Quentin only has 24 hours to sell his car. Is that even possible? He goes to Carvana.com.
What is this, a movie trailer?
He ignores the doubters, enters his license plate. Wow, that's a great offer. The car is sold, but will Carvana pick it up in time for...
They'll literally pick it up tomorrow morning. Done with the dramatics?
Car selling in record time.
Save your time. Go to Carvana.com and sell your car today. Pickup fees may apply.